All right, so we've covered a lot here. I want to keep moving, but one question I have after digesting all of this information is, how do I measure this? What are the measurements of success?
I'll take that one, I think, Chris. And there's no one right way to measure, but it's always right to measure. The old adage that if you can't measure it, you can't management or can't manage it is more true in projects than anywhere. So for that alignment to be effective, you've got to be able to identify what it is you're going to be measuring. You've got to identify what kind of goals and targets you've got as you're planning your strategy, as you're converting that strategy into a program, as you're building your projects within that program and planning your operations. How does everything align? What are the measures that you need to look for? So uh, we're always establishing from the very beginning metrics. We'll do modeling with our customers. We'll identify a current state and a future state, and we'll try to quantify that for them. We'll set that up in such a way with our model where here's where you are. But if these things change, which we'd expect to see change over time as a result of the product of this project work that we're about to engage in, here's where you should expect to be. Here's a new number. That number can be subjective. It doesn't have to be naturally objective, but there will be objective numbers. Maybe it's financial metrics that we're looking at, can be something that is pretty clear cut. But where that doesn't exist, you have to come up with something so that you have a goal to shoot for and you can see how you're progressing. So with our measurements, we're always measuring on progress in such a way that it's demonstratable, it's trackable, it can be presented, and it can be easily understood. It's so important, especially as projects start to experience, and almost every project at one point or another will suffer some FUD. There will be people that worry that maybe the project's not working like it should. Having metrics, having indicators, having measures that you can show, especially as it relates back to progress during those phases where outcomes aren't being very effectively measured yet. You're not yet realizing the benefit of the outcome. Your measures aren't changing there. But to show that you're progressing toward what you would expect will drive those outcomes, critical. And that's what boards of directors, that's what executive leadership teams, they want to, they like to, and they frankly need to be able to see that rather than sitting in a session like this and listening to people like Ron and I talking ad nauseum about all the minutia that could be out there. It's got to be boiled down. It's got to be bubbled up to something that is easily understood and can be used to set direction.